Hello everyone out there. We're going to do a smart tap or a tap turn install here today on my 2004 GX470. Now this should apply to any of your GX470 03 through 09. So here's what we're going to need. We're going to need a smart tap, which is from Diode Dynamics here. You can see the part number on this is DD4015. Don't know if you can see that or not. Camera to focus on that. So this is, you can get this off Amazon or directly from Diode Dynamics. You also need this wire relay from Toyota, part number 82241-35010. Get this from any Toyota dealership online or local Toyota dealership. This is going to convert the standard 12-pin connector that is inside the vehicle right now to an 8-pin connector which plugs into the SmartTap. So we'll show you how to do this in a few minutes. I'm doing this, I'm replacing the LED lights for the turn signals in the front of my vehicle, and to keep from getting hyperflash, I'm using this option right here. Another good reason to use this is if you use regular incandescent bulbs, they get really hot with the daytime running lights on the GXs, and they basically melt the headlight housing. I've recently purchased new OEM sport headlights, so I don't want to burn a hole of those. So out with the incandescents, in with the LEDs, and to keep from getting hyperflash, this is the option. This is also a helpful option if you want to disable your daytime running lights, because this will disable the daytime running lights. And the Smart Tap or Tap Turn feature here will allow you to push the stalk one time to turn on the blinker, and it'll blink from 3 to 6 times. Some of those features are on newer vehicles. The GX470 didn't come with it, so it'll be a nice feature. Also allows you to change your patterns for your turning and also your hazard lights. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But first, we'll show you a modification that we have to do on this in order to retain your hazard lights. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this most left white wire here, that's right beside the white and black one, and we're going to move it over from one pin to the next. Make sure you can see that. We'll move it from this pin over one to the left. And this is on the 12-pin side. So we'll peel this back and get started on that here in just a second. So we're first going to have to release this white clip right here. This pops up and is the first thing that holds these wires in. Then we're going to have to release the actual clip for the wire to pull it out. So we'll go ahead and start on this now. I'm just using a pick to pull it up. Alright, as you can see, that should be up enough to release the lock on this one pin. I've cut some of this wiring harness back so we can get a grip on this white wire. Now to release this white wire from the wiring harness here, I'm using something like a dental pick. You could use, I guess you could maybe use a toothpick, but small screwdriver. You could use a metal pick like this. It's a little bit thick, but makes it easy. If you go in here, see the pins. Let me get a little bit more light on the situation here. And you see the pins here, and if you look up under the pin right here, if you're facing the harness like this, up under the pin there's a little clip that you're going to stick this in and release. You use the stud, and you're going to stick it in there, and you're going to pull it down this way, and when you pull it down you'll hear it click, and then you should be able to come over here on this side and pull the wire right out. Now we're going to move this over one spot to this spot right here. We're going to push it back in. Use needle nose pliers to make sure to push it back in. So this is one over, it's a little short. There we go, you heard it click. And then we're going to push this white part right here back down. Now this white part is just, like I said earlier, you just lift it up and get a pin under this side right here, and pop it up. Very easy pop up. We're going to push this back down and lock it in place like so. That's the double lock for the wire. Make sure we get that in all the way. You can look in there when you're done and see that it has been moved over. And that is it. That's all it takes to move the 1 pin over. This is to maintain your hazard lights. So now we're going to go ahead and take apart the dash so that we can locate the current flasher unit for the GX470. It is located behind the fuse box, right at the driver's side footwell. I'll show you something real quick here. This is what the wiring harness looks like plugged into the SmartTap. You just slide this 8-pin connector into the SmartTap, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this end and we're going to now plug it into where we unplug the wiring harness from the current flasher unit under the dash. We're going to unplug it from the current flasher unit and we're going to plug it into this. We're going to wire tie this under the dash, and that is it. Also install our LED bulbs. Okay, here we are inside the GX, and we're going to start by removing the lower panel, which is this panel right here, which is held in by just this one screw. It just comes down like that. Now we're going to work on removing this panel right here, which is held on by this bolt here. Now to get this side off over here, we're going to take this trim piece off right here, and this just really pops right up. Might be able to do it with my hand without using a trim tool remover. A little bit hard. We'll use a trim tool remover here. Now next, we're going to remove this footwell piece here. This just pops out. And it exposes this one bolt over here. Make sure you can see that right there. That bolt's got to come out. I think it might be a 12, 10 or 12. It's a 10. We'll release this side of the dash. These wooden pieces get removed over here. This exposes one more 10mm bolt right here. Alrighty. That should just drop down like that. Now we have all these wires back here from the panel here with the mirror switch. We're going to release all the tabs and release all these wires to get this back out of the way. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm unbolting this fuse box to move it out of the way a little bit so I can reach my hand back there and unplug it. Like I said, this is overkill. A lot of people say that you can just reach up under the driver's footwell and unplug it. However, I can't really show you that process very well. So if you don't want to do it or can't do it, because I have heard people, maybe they have bigger hands and can't do it, they've done it this way. All right, let me see if I can get you up in here. See what you're looking at here. you see, I don't know if you can see or not, that black box. Let me see if I can get up in here and point to it. Right here, that's too much light for you, isn't it? Right here is what you're looking for, and there's a little clip that you can push down and we're going to pull out. So do that real quick. Finally got it out, and it was a bugger to get out. Right there is the connector. It came off the tap turn. I unbolted the fuse panel from up here. I unbolted it from down here, and I loosened the nut up under here to get this fuse panel to swing down so I could get my arm in here and be able to reach. And even with that, it was very difficult to get this push button pushed down and actually get it to pull out. So I'm not sure how people are doing it by reaching their hand up from behind. I do see there's a large gap back there where they can do it, so maybe it's possible. But I wanted to show you this way so you can understand what it looks like back here, what the connector looks like. Again, the flasher box is on the back of the fuse panel here, so I wanted to show you that. And we'll go ahead and plug in the tap turn now. Here is our Smart Tap, and let's see where we're going to plug it in. Probably gonna route it up behind, I guess. I don't really know. I guess it matters. This takes the place. That's all you do. Plug it in. And that should be it. Before we put it back together, we will try it out. Make sure it works. First, let's make sure the hazards work. Yeah, that must be the default flasher. The hazards are definitely working. We can change that. Now, I don't have the LEDs in here yet. I'll put those in. That's really cool. The tap turn. You see here, I'm going to push on the stalk one time. And the default setting is it blinks the blinker 4 times. Oops. So you don't push it all the way, you just barely touch it. And it blinks it 4 times. It's cool. I'm playing with the hazards. This is the default strobe. It says default. Let's see what you like here on the back. It's the default strobe, and then you can change it to be alternating. So this looks like. And this is just turn the hazards on, turn the blinker to the right, and it will alternate like this, almost like police lights. Of course, they're yellow. That's really cool. All right, and so the other setting for your hazards are a slow wig-wag, which the default is a fast wig-wag. So that's the slow. In front. Slow wig-wag. And it doesn't save those settings. So when I cut the hazards off and put them back on, they go back to strobing. And so you can change it so that it doesn't strobe by default, it just does a normal. But that's pretty cool. And then of course, like I said, you know, right is a wig-wag, slow, and then if you go right, left, it's a slow wig-wag. So there's 3 settings there for your hazards. Pretty cool. I don't use my hazards all that much, so that's not that big of a deal. Anyway, hope you found this video helpful. I got everything buttoned back up, put back together. Haven't replaced the LEDs yet, but I'll be doing that soon. But the SmartTap is installed. It wasn't too bad of a process. A little bit of a learning curve. Hopefully this video helps you. All right, take it easy, everyone. Bye-bye. And here are the front LEDs. Not bad, not too bright. Actually, pretty perfect for LEDs. I like it. To me, it's just bright enough.